If you have started looking into Singapore business grants, you have almost certainly run into two names that get used in the same breath: PSG and EDG, the Productivity Solutions Grant and the Enterprise Development Grant. They are both run by the same agency, they both help local companies grow, and they are constantly confused for each other. So in the next few minutes, we are going to set them side by side in plain English and help you see which one actually fits what you are trying to do. One quick note before we begin: this channel is educational only. We are not a government agency, we are not consultants acting for you, and we cannot apply for any grant on your behalf. Always confirm the live details on the official government portal before you make a decision. Meet the two grants. Let us start with the one-line version of each. The Productivity Solutions Grant, PSG, helps you adopt ready-made, pre-approved tools and equipment that lift your everyday productivity. The Enterprise Development Grant, EDG, helps you fund larger, more customized projects that build your business capabilities, sharpen your processes, or take you into new markets. If PSG is about buying a proven tool off a shelf, EDG is about building something more tailored to your company. Hold that image because almost every difference flows from it. PSG in brief. PSG is the simpler, faster of the two. You browse a curated list of approved digital solutions and equipment. You pick one that solves a real problem, you get a quotation, and you apply before you buy. The solutions are everyday workhorses. Things like accounting software, inventory systems, booking tools, and point of sale. Because the tools are already assessed and listed, the process is lighter and the timelines are usually shorter. PSG is the natural first stop when your goal is simply to work smarter with a tool that already exists. EDG in brief. EDG sits one level up in ambition. Instead of a fixed menu, it supports projects, and those projects are usually built around your specific situation. Think business strategy work, financial or human resource capability building, process redesign and automation, product or service innovation, or expanding into overseas markets. Because each EDG project is more bespoke, it typically involves a written proposal that explains the project, its costs, and the outcomes you expect. It is more involved, but it is also more powerful when your needs go beyond anything on a ready-made list. To make the two feel concrete, picture the kinds of work each tends to fund. On the PSG side, a cafe might adopt a listed point of sale and inventory tool, or a small firm might pick up approved accounting software to kill manual invoicing. The need is clear, the tool exists, and you are simply adopting it. On the EDG side, a growing company might commission a proper business strategy review, redesign a clunky end-to-end process so it runs with far less manual effort, develop a genuinely new product, or build the groundwork to enter an overseas market. The need is bigger, the answer is custom, and there is real planning behind it. Same agency, very different scale of ambition. The core difference. So here is the heart of it. PSG is off the shelf. EDG is tailored. PSG funds a product you select from a list. EDG funds a project you define. That single distinction explains why PSG feels quick and contained, while EDG feels larger and more deliberate. It also explains the paperwork. A pre-approved tool needs less justification, so PSG asks less of you. A custom project needs to be explained and scoped, so EDG asks more. Neither is better in the abstract. They are simply built for different jobs. PSG versus EDG. Let us lay the comparison out plainly. On scope, PSG covers ready-made tools and equipment, while EDG covers broader capability, innovation, and market projects. On effort, PSG is lighter and faster, while EDG is heavier and slower because of the proposal. On who tends to use it, PSG suits a quick, contained upgrade, while EDG suits a bigger transformation. On documentation, PSG leans on a quotation for a listed solution, while EDG leans on a project proposal with defined outcomes. And on the kind of help involved, many businesses handle PSG themselves, while EDG projects often involve a qualified consultant to shape and deliver the work. Same agency, same goal of helping you grow, two very different routes, cost and effort. Now the money question, handled carefully. Both grants support a portion of qualifying costs rather than the whole bill, and that supported portion has changed over time and can differ by the type of project. The temptation is to chase whichever number sounds bigger, but that is the wrong way to choose. The honest approach is to check the current support level for each grant on the official portal at the moment you apply, because that live figure is the only one that binds. Treat any percentage you hear, including in this video, as background, not a promise. And remember that effort is a real cost too. A larger supported amount on a project that demands a full proposal is not automatically the easier win. Factor in the time to prepare, the documentation, and whether you will need outside help, and then weigh the real net value rather than the headline rate. Two quick examples. Let us walk through two short, made-up situations to show the choice in action. First, imagine a busy neighborhood clinic that loses hours every week to phone bookings and paper records. The problem is sharp and well understood, and there are listed tools built exactly for it. That is a textbook PSG situation. The owner identifies an approved booking and record solution, gets a quotation, and applies before buying. Now imagine a small manufacturer that wants to redesign its entire production workflow, retrain staff, and add a new product line over the next year. There is no single tool that does all of that, and the work needs real planning and outside expertise. That points toward EDG, a written project proposal, and very likely a consultant to shape and deliver it. Notice that neither business chose by the funding rate. Each chose by the shape and size of the problem. Which one fits you? So how do you actually choose? Start from the shape of your need, not the size of the grant. If your problem is well defined and a proven tool already solves it, you are most likely in PSG territory. If your need is broader, messier, or unique to your business, and no ready-made tool quite covers it, you are leaning toward EDG. Ask yourself a simple question. Am I buying something that exists, or am I building something new for my company? That answer points you to the right door more reliably than any funding percentage. Can you use both? A common question is whether it has to be one or the other. In broad terms, PSG and EDG are designed to serve different needs, and many growing companies use different schemes over time as their needs evolve. What you should not assume is that you can stack support for the very same cost twice, or that approval for one implies anything about the other. The clean way to think about it is one project, one appropriate scheme. As always, the official portal and the current rules are what govern whether and how schemes can be combined. So check there rather than relying on assumptions. A practical way to sequence it is to solve the immediate, well-defined problems with a quick PSG-style adoption, and to plan the bigger capability-building work as a separate EDG project when you are ready for it. That way, each piece of work is matched to the scheme designed for it, and you are never trying to force one grant to do the other grant's job. Who qualifies? Eligibility for both follows a familiar shape, while the precise criteria are set by the agency and can be updated. In general terms, both are aimed at businesses registered and operating in Singapore, with expectations around local ownership and a reasonable financial footing to carry the project through. EDG, because it funds bigger projects, often comes with expectations around the project being meaningful and deliverable, and around your company being ready to take it on. None of this should put you off. The point is simply that do I qualify always has the same honest answer. Open the portal, read the criteria for the specific grant and project, and confirm it against your own company before you commit. How to choose? Let us turn this into a short, repeatable way to decide. First, write down the actual problem you are solving in one sentence. Second, ask whether a ready-made listed tool already fixes it. If yes, look closely at PSG. Third, if the answer is no, and the work is a tailored project with real scope, look closely at EDG and consider whether you need a consultant to shape it. Fourth, whichever path you choose, go to the official portal, read the live criteria and support level, and apply before you spend. That order keeps you from falling in love with a grant before you have understood your own need. One more habit worth building is to be realistic about time. PSG, being lighter, tends to move faster, but it still asks you to apply before you commit, so it rewards a little patience at the start. EDG, being a full project, naturally takes longer to prepare, assess, and deliver, and a good proposal is not something you rush the night before a deadline. So map the grant to your calendar, not just to your wish list. If you need a fix in the next few weeks, a ready-made tool through the lighter route is usually the realistic option. If you are planning a transformation over the coming months, give the bigger project the runway it deserves. Matching the timeline to the type of work is just as important as matching the funding, and it is the part owners most often forget until they are up against the clock. Quick recap, let us put it together. PSG funds ready-made, pre-approved tools and equipment with a lighter, faster process. EDG funds larger, customized projects across capability, innovation, and market access, with a heavier process built around the proposal. Choose based on whether you are buying something proven or building something new, not on whichever percentage sounds larger. Confirm eligibility, support levels, and the rules on combining schemes on the official source every time. Do that, and the PSG versus EDG questions stops being confusing and starts being a simple matter of matching the tool to the job. A closing reminder, remember the spirit of this channel. We give you the map and the vocabulary so the official process feels approachable. But the official sources always have the final word. And the rules genuinely do change. So treat this as orientation, not advice tailored to your business, and certainly not a guarantee of any outcome. When you're ready, head to the Go Business Business Grants portal, read the current details for both PSG and EDG, and choose from there. If this made the comparison clearer, subscribe for a new Singapore grant breakdown, and we will keep turning confusing acronyms into clear, confident decisions.